Hi everyone, welcome to the Undercast. So today Noah and I are going to be going through, we went and picked out a bunch of some really great movie fight scenes, and every link to those fight scenes that we mentioned today are in no particular order, but they're in the description. Watch those, and we're going to commentate some of our favorite things on those. So we're doing a little bit of Watch Mojo action here today.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
getting a list here of our favorite movie fight scenes.
Yeah, we're gonna be commenting some of our favorite things about these fight scenes, what makes them unique, and I think this is gonna kind of become a little bit of a series as well for the Undercast, scenes or fight scenes in general, but from TV shows, video games. But this one happens to be movies.
Yeah.
And also feel free to comment your favorite fight scenes as well.
Yeah,
we
dude.
like when people are proactive.
Because chances are we're probably going to miss a few movie fight scenes.
We absolutely missed a ton of movie fight scenes.
We probably did.
We only have 7.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3,
6.
4, 6. 6. So we have even less than 7.
Oh yeah, that's because we want you guys to be able to comment, and then maybe even send a link to us, and then we'll add those to our next one.
Indeed.
So next one, hopefully, gonna do some TV show fight scenes. But
Maybe,
for this one today,
perhaps.
we got some movie fight scenes for you. So
Indeed.
what are we gonna start with, Noah?
I think we should start with the Hobbit,
Okay.
Desolation of Smaug,
Okay.
the barrel scene.
That one was one of my picks to do, but I think we both pretty much liked that one. I think what made that one so entertaining was because it if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Obviously after this, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But it's what makes it unique is the style of not just cinematography, because it seems to follow a trail. Because they're all floating down a river in the elven barrels, and the orcs are chasing them as well as the elves,
Right.
The dwarves, and all the dwarves are in the barrels. And this one, there's this 120, maybe 30-second piece where the big redhead one, I think, is Bomber, and he pops out of the barrel, and he's so huge, so the mass of the barrel is just rolling down. It comes out of the river and is rolling alongside and hitting orcs.
Oh, just crush it, and
slamming.
you hear the cracks and each bone break, and like they're falling into the river as he goes by. It's like it's really intense. You know, it hurts me just watching it. Imagine getting crushed by a dwarf in a barrel.
What's beautiful too, like I said before, the cinematography of that scene was amazing. How it followed them, and I really was it Peter Jackson, the director of that. I think he's quite a genius because he's done the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit series. I think he's great. But anyway, it boils down to this one part where the barrel just stops rolling and all the orcs start surrounding him once it's lost its momentum, and he just pops out. You don't even see his face pop out, but
And he's got an axe and a sword, right?
no, he's got 2 axes, one in each
axes?
hand, that pop out of the side of the barrel, and he just starts swinging in a circular motion.
He's just taking
him
orcs down.
out.
It was such a good scene. It was the first time I remember seeing that scene. I think I saw the Desolation of Smaug when it came out in theater, but it was a while ago, so I can't exactly remember. But what a good what a good scene.
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory. That is a good way to rank that. Also, we got a bit of Legolas in there.
Oh yeah, Legolas. That guy's an absolute G.
What an absolute
He doesn't look
unit.
like he's aged a bit, probably
Not-
because makeup, CGI, and other things.
Or,
but,
because he's actually an elf.
well, yeah, that
Yeah.
too. He's a wood elf. They don't really age, and they kind of live forever in
Only
Tolkien
kinda?
anyway. Well, in Tolkien,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about D&D lore
Or Skyrim.
or Skyrim, Elder
Or
Scrolls.
Elder
lore.
Scrolls to be more
Sorry.
to be more appropriate.
I'm really hoping everyone out there gets Elder Scrolls and
I'm sure a few people will.
fantasy references.
Few people will. They've
It
got-
disappoints me if you don't.
Oh, they'll be all right.
Yeah. Whoops. All right. So what do we have? What do you want to do next?
What do I want to do next?
We have a whole list right here.
We do. 5 more.
And we're not ranking these in any particular order, by the way.
We're just talking about how
because
much we love them.
we admire them very much.
Indeed.
You want to do the Winter Soldier one?
Heck yeah.
So Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier. What an excellent movie to start off with all the twists and turns. Spoilers.
You sound like
Spoilers.
you're a movie. Like you're. It sounds like you're trying to sell movies on the side of the street. Like you're trying to sell pirated films that you just got. Like in an age where everyone downloads things, you happen to have the discs, and you open like a trench coat just full of DVD ROMs.
If you really must know, I'm selling copies of Jack Sparrow and the Caribbean Sea Pirates.
Oh yes, Jack Sparrow and the Caribbean Sea Pirates. I think that's Garrett's favorite. Am I right?
Yes, indeed.
There's quite a few great scenes in Pirates of the Caribbean too. But
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Sorry.
There's a particular scene in that one where my phone just fell off the charger. There's a particular scene in that one that Noah brought to my attention.
Oh, indeed. The highway fight scene between the Winter Soldier and Captain America. What a scene, I've got to say. From the whole, the tense buildup of the Black Widow scene where the dude, he rolls that grenade under the car towards the phone.
Yeah. Well, that was Bucky.
Yeah,
Bucky rolls the grenade under the, what is it, like a van or something?
It was a few cars. He rolled it under a few cars, and the phone was there. And Black Widow jumps out, and she's like, and she's trying to choke him.
What a description! But,
What a description!
Well, no. It's because it's not that the tense buildup from the grenade too was also because they cut out the music too. I think.
Yeah. No, it was this very low violin.
Very low violin, but there was no other really sound.
Yeah.
It went muffled.
Besides the grenade rolling.
And you just hear the rolling on the concrete. And what's there is Black Widow, the phone. The phone that's doing the playback of her voice, so Bucky thinks she's behind the car. That's why he rolls the grenade over. But then she pops out from behind him and just absolutely yeeticus.
And then she literally gets yeeted onto the car.
Oh yeah, she gets yeeted.
And then Captain America runs up. Just a bam with the shield punch that sounds like the Liberty Bell.
Oh yeah, the shield punch of the vibranium with what was Bucky's arm made out of?
I can't actually tell you
because it wasn't vibranium until which movie did it become vibranium?
Infinity War.
Infinity War did vibranium?
The most that I could do is look it up for you, but I can't actually tell you.
I think that was right, though. You know, vibranium and it being indigenous to Wakanda.
Wakanada?
Wakanada forever, boys.
As Bruce Banner said in Age of Ultron. Wakanada?
Wakanada? Whenever I think of Bruce Banner now, I think of the Ragnarok scene where he comes out with Tony Stark's shirt on, and it's like 2 sizes too small, and it's really funny.
And he's like, what the heck happened?
And he's also wearing his pants, and they're really tight on the crotch, and he's like, what happened?
It was...
So it was an alloy.
It was a vibranium alloy.
Yes, but that doesn't mean it's pure. It was
not
something
pure.
else.
It was not
mixed
pure.
with vibranium. So that's probably why it made that Liberty Bell sound.
However, this was proven false when it was destroyed by Iron Man's Iron Man when like
but
he
Iron
went to
Man.
just when the cannon in his chest when like Winter Soldier went to go dig it out and
it was because it was an alloy too. It wasn't pure vibranium, the most like humanly indestructible thing we have on this planet. But
it was aluminum or steel.
Oh, so it was aluminum or steel plus vibranium.
I don't think it was made out of vibranium.
But it said alloy.
But it's also said it was proven false when it got blown off by Tony Stark. When it got like blown up.
Yeah.
The arm got blown up.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, even an alloy would. Never mind.
This
isn't going through the science of how vibranium works.
Different episode, maybe. That's a big maybe.
But I think my favorite part of the scene is when Captain America chinks his shield into Bucky's arm, and it's absolutely beautiful, and he starts prying it.
I know
open.
It's a metal arm, but that even hurt me just watching it.
It hurt me. And actually, with the way I react to some movie scenes that are too painful, like we have one, Scarface. We're not going to go quite into that one yet, but you can feel it when he's getting just punctured by the bullets.
Yeet. You know what? There's a perfect time to transfer over to Scarface. Actually, what do you think?
Scarface.
Hell yeah!
How many of you guys have seen Scarface? It's a classic. It's a gangster film.
I think '80s it came out. Al Pacino was the star. What a dude!
You continue on this one while I look up the release date.
Well, it was a glorious scene as Al Pacino was snorting cocaine off of his desk. His sister walks in.
83, you were right.
Oh yeah, and spoiler alert, but she gets shot, and Al Pacino is like, no.
It's been the 80s. You don't need a spoiler alert anymore.
I'm just saying, just in case they're like, wow, this fight scene sounds good. I'm gonna go watch the movie. Spoiler alert. His sister gets shot, and he's like, no, my sister. And then, well, that's not exactly what he sounded like.
You're great.
It was pretty close.
You're pretty good at imitations.
I pride myself on my in interpretations of stuff. Thank you.
Interpretations of people.
Yes.
You'd be a good DM.
No, I wouldn't. But yeah, she gets shot, and then like half of the Italian mob starts rushing into his mansion and
They're
killing
just
his
our
goons.
families, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not Italian, I don't think.
Oh yeah, you're Venezuelan or something.
Yeah.
Your mom is very Italian in how she cooks, though.
Well, you grow up in a place like New York. I mean, you have to learn to cook Italian.
It's pretty good.
It is. It is very good cooking.
I kind of want stuffed shells for Thanksgiving.
If you drop by, I will.
Well, your mom said I could have some.
Oh, there you go.
So, I mean, but I'm gonna go behind your back and eat your mom's stuffed shells.
Wow.
You know, I mean,
Wow.
no, never. I wouldn't do you like that. No, I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
I appreciate
a man's
you.
stuffed shells are his stuffed shells.
Thank you.
So Scarface.
Scarface. Back to Scarface. But the mob rushes in, they kill all of his goons, and then he sees them all on the security camera, and he's like, "Oh, you want to play rough? Well, say hello to my little friend," which is where that scene came from.
That's where that line comes
Yeah,
from.
that's where that.
Say hello to my little friend, except he does in like a Cuban Guatemalan accent.
Yeah,
Very.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Say hello to my little friend. That's
No,
very.
you sound.
That's New
You
York.
sound.
I'm sorry.
No, that's like Godfather.
Godfather.
Yeah.
You come to my house on the day of my daughter's wedding. You ask me for a favor.
But then he gets an M16 with the grenade launcher on the front of it and blows the door down.
I guess he selected that attachment when he got into the battle royale.
Yeah, no, he had to buy it with his COD points.
Oh, damn. Why you gotta do this?
But
His COD points.
yeah, blows down the door, rushes through, and just starts gunning people down. Like, he's going at it.
And you can see, it's nice because you see people starting to fall down the velvet-lined staircase.
Yeah, what a beautiful mansion, by
It
the way.
progresses into this one part where there's just he's obviously outnumbered. It's one guy with an M16 against the entire like mafia. So they all kind of get into the foyer.
The foyer?
The
Is that
foyer.
what that's called?
Well, I mean, tomato. Do you call it a foyer?
No, I don't know if it's a foyer or a foyer.
It's a lobby.
I just didn't know what the name of the
I think
place
it's
was.
French.
I thought it was like, I don't know, man, the living room or something. I didn't really know what to consider it.
Oh, it's a lobby with a gold statue in it. Anyway, I thought it was pretty nice.
It was really nice.
But they all gather around and they're shooting him. He's on the balcony, by the way. He's on a balcony with the stairs leading up, and they're obviously you can go and click the link, but they're shooting and they all just start shooting him. But he does not care. He's taking every bullet with pride and anger, and he's also on coke.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he just did a lot of cocaine. He had a mountain of cocaine on his desk. Like very, very.
It's like a couple months of Adderall in one. Yeah,
that's an understatement.
That's an understatement. That's an undercast.
Yeah, that's an undercast. But he just didn't die, and then Terminator.
Didn't die.
Terminator with a spray tan comes up behind him with a double barrel shotgun,
and that's finally what kills him.
And
He
got him
blows
over
him
the neck.
off the balcony into like the indoor pool that's
like-
in the foyer.
he's like, ugh, and he falls into the.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody and beautiful. It's a great scene of it represents the high of the cocaine falling once the heart rate goes down. Well, he just got killed too, so that also is to blame for the heart rate going down.
I believe there was an Xbox original game that came out where the game started with that scene, and then you turned around and you shot that guy and you lived, and it's just the aftermath of everything that happened.
Whoa, do you know what that was called?
I think it was just called Scarface. My friend Jason told me about it. I don't actually know. I've never played it, but I've watched gameplay.
Wow, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Was that the original Xbox or the 360?
It was the original Xbox.
That was pre my time. I started with
time.
my 360.
I started on the Xbox original just because that's what I had.
Actually, no, I started on Nintendo.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't have.
Your boy was Nintendo before anything.
I had a GameCube and an Xbox.
What was GameCube? Was that Nintendo?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I didn't have a GameCube. Please comment.
They were nice. The Super Monkey Ball.
Oh, that reminds me. There was a game on GameCube it was a Star Wars. It was one of the first. I think it was a Battlefront game. But that transitions us into our next movie.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
that was on a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, next movie.
It's Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, and
yeah,
I think we both can agree this is probably one of the best.
Yeah, it's got to be the best.
And Anakin versus Obi-Wan here.
Oh my gosh, what a scene, guys! What a scene!
And again, cinematography is everything. Mm-hmm. When you can follow a fight and in real time, because it's all real time, and like you mentioned to me, they're using real moves.
Yes, they're all moving. Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, the actors for Obi-Wan and Anakin, out of order, were were they were actually, the way you see it in the movie, they were actually doing that stuff. Like, they were doing all those moves at that pace.
They had like foam or PVC props, I believe,
like
if I've seen behind the scenes cuts.
But it's so amazing to me that they were able to process what the hell was going on. Like for that to not be sped up or anything like that is amazing to me. I don't know how they could have done such an amazing thing. As
you progress towards the end of the fight scene, and it builds tension, obviously, because they start on a secure platform, and as the rage of Anakin continues, you get into more. They hit the panel, and then all of a sudden they're just fighting on rock.
They're fighting on
like hardened magma,
swinging on cables, like fighing each other with lightsabers.
Yeah, it becomes, and honestly, the whole swinging with cables thing, I didn't choose, or we didn't get a Pirates of the Caribbean scene, but there's a lot of sword fighting in Pirates of the Caribbean that does that swinging with rope effect. And that's always something I've admired in fight scenes with melee weapons. I think that's really like well done of directors.
I think it might have been a bit extra in this one. I think the fight scene, like,
everything about that scene was extra.
No, it wasn't. I think it was.
That's what makes it great. Everything about the Anakin versus Obi-Wan is extra.
And then they start going down the lava river on like those platforms.
And there's just the hit, and Anakin starts shrinking.
Yeah, he's on the little droid, and then Obi-Wan's on the platform, and they're fighting like that, and then they both get on the platform, and you could tell they're exhausted.
Oh yeah, and can you remind me of the name of that planet, because it was specifically Mustafar?
Yeah.
Because it was specifically a droid factory, wasn't it?
I think it was the Separatist headquarters.
You sure it was headquarters?
Because the reason Anakin was there was because Palpatine. Spoiler alert.
It's 2018, Noah.
The movie only came out in 2005.
Yeah, it was the only good prequel series piece.
Fair enough. But Palpatine sent him there to kill all the Separatist leaders, and that's exactly what Anakin did. He basically pulled a pumped-up Kix and went in there with the lightsaber.
You're right, and the kid
shut all the doors and.
Dude, the younglings.
Oh, that was in the Jedi Temple.
I know, that was before. And then Padme on Mustafar is like, "You killed the younglings,
liar!" And he starts choking her out.
And speaking of sword fighting scenes, that takes us to our next one.
Is this the last? No, it's not.
No, it's Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Now, this is also a classic as well. Scarface came out, I think, around a little after Scarface.
I couldn't tell you.
From what I know, I think it was 88, 89. This is probably my top two, at least one of my top two favorite movies. It's Princess Bride. Like,
it's moderately adequate movie.
It's more than moderately adequate, and the fact that you haven't seen it in years, we're rewatching it.
Okay. But what a scene, not Inigo Montoya. It's Inigo Montoya versus Wesley.
Yeah.
And Wesley, I've got to say, he looks like an old school Daredevil.
Yeah, his costuming is very Daredevil. Except it's the mask. He slits because he's not blind.
Yeah, he's not blind. I bet he could.
He also fights with a sword, but he does hand-to-hand combat when he fights the giant, which is a different scene. But it wasn't as great as the sword fight with Inigo Montoya.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, Andre the Giant. Garrett, a.k.a. Garrett Weigel. Future guest star that you guys will meet soon enough.
What a man, by the way.
What a man. Him and I were actually going to go as Wesley and Andre the Giant.
Wow, why didn't you?
I don't know. It would have been a great costuming.
Yeah, fantastic.
But what makes this scene so, I think it's more memorable than anything, especially when you're watching the movie and you know the plot.
The dialogue.
It's the dialogue.
Little did you know, I am not left-handed, and they switch hands.
And then he switches hands, and then about 20 seconds later, Inigo's got Wesley pinned up, and Wesley's like, "I know something you don't know either. I am not left-handed. I am not left-handed." And so now they're both on equal terms again, except at that point,
Wesley had the upper hand,
and you can see the exhaustion. Yes. Well. The thing, Inigo's backstory, if you don't probably remember it in short, is his father was a sword. He was not much of he was less of a blacksmith and more of a swordsmith. He made swords, beautiful swords. And there was a noble, the six-fingered man, who works for the king now in The Princess Bride. But at the time, this noble wanted the best of the best, so he went to Inigo's father to have him make a sword. And Inigo was only like 8 at this time, and the noble like promises twice the amount of what he would normally pay just because he wants this sword that well.
Wow.
He comes to get the sword, and when Inigo's father asks him for the payment, he doesn't pay, and he slaughters his father in front of Inigo. Now, Inigo is after the man who killed his father.
Right.
Prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
Yes, so that's and because he practiced for so long to become the best swordsman, and Wesley still has the upper hand.
You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down.
Best TV show fight scene. Save it.
Woo. What?
Pokemon.
Oh, jeez. Is that what that's from?
Wait, what were you singing?
You're the best around.
No.
Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. No, you're thinking of I wanna be the very
best.
Never actually seen Pokemon.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't want to explain my train of thought.
Anyway.
No. But
man.
I think because it's so funny. Their dialogue is hilarious because they're going back and forth, complimenting each other on how well they sword fight, and they respect each other.
That's
for
true
it.
Sportsmanship right there.
It's because Wes, I think he's very. He's prideful, but he's also very swordsman-like. Or he supports. He's very swordsman-like as well, but he's also very
gentlemanly, if you ask me.
He's quite a gentleman. Yeah, he's a blonde, dashing man.
Are you trying to describe yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just a low key.
Oh, low key. No keys to my castle.
Well, I mean, Wesley just breaks in anyway.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so
to talk about a scene with no dialogue, let's get into John Wick.
Okay, this one is killer.
This one, literally.
It is quite killer. Actually,
John Wick is.
This is our last
the
one.
Best killer.
And I don't know if we purposefully just subconsciously saved one of the best for last, but if you've seen the first John Wick.
If you've seen the first John Wick,
I'm hoping.
The club scene where he's going in. We're gonna skip the whole bathhouse scene because that was not the bathhouse, but like when he chokes the guy out over the sink.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip that.
Well, that's just the intro to the fight scene.
Right, but I talked about dialogue lists and he talked there, so it's it's not important. But
continue.
You think about that scene, and all I think about is, wow, what a beautiful use of the colors and the music.
It's like a rave, and nobody seems to care. And what's beautiful about this is because the music changes, like the club background music. It's not a score; it's in movie music.
Yeah,
it's like it's actually happening.
Oh yeah,
that music is on a speaker in the club while everything's going down, and nobody's expecting anything different of people running around. Everyone's high off their ass. It's a club.
Yeah, and John Wick, he knows that this was they were gonna be playing one of his favorite songs, so he decided to go into the club at that, and he's chasing Yosef, and he's trying to murder this man as he's as he's going through the club, and he's having a lot of issues. I gotta say, there's a lot of goons in there. They're like, "Hey, that's my boss," and then John Wick's like, "Well, I'll show you who's boss," and then stab.
Doesn't say a word.
Doesn't say a word.
Silent but deadly.
Silent but deadly. John Wick is the definition of a fart. Silent but deadly.
Dude, he is actually a fart.
Yeah.
And also, one we forgot that I just now remembered while thinking about it. We forgot to write it down. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
In the first one, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and now this was a very quick scene. And one could even argue if it's considered a fight scene.
Was it Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It was the Raiders of the Lost Ark when they're
Temples of Doom.
Don't even try, man. I am an Indiana Jones fanatic.
All right.
I was Indiana Jones for Halloween. I don't know if that actually explains anything.
I'll take your word for it.
I was like 8 years old. Maybe 9. Anyway, when they're in Cairo, him and so much for being a fanatic. I can't even remember his chick's name, the girl's name. Mary.
I don't know.
Anyway, the lady, the
woman.
dark-haired lady that he's with. They're on a quest. And anyway, he's in Cairo, Egypt, and basically the feds. Whatever the equivalent of the feds in 1908 are after him. Actually,
is that when that movie takes place?
I think it actually takes place in like 1910. But it's rarely in America. He's always everywhere else. I think it starts in South America.
I don't know.
But anyway,
that beautiful scene.
It eventually gets to Cairo, Egypt, and he's in the town square, and a bunch of these feds are after him from America. But I guess they've paid off like a really skilled swordsman to take out Indiana Jones.
And he's like sitting there doing a bunch of flips and twirls with the sword.
Well, really, it's like this guy needs to be. At least the swordsman can at least hold him back while the goons are trying to get their bearing again. Because dude, Indiana Jones is on a slaughter fest.
Well, he always is, you know.
He's just Indiana
That's
freaking
the
Jones.
guy.
Because
that's the man.
I mean, like everyone knows, you get a degree in archaeology, and now you just become a mass murderer.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. I mean, obviously, but
as if there's any other path to take in life.
I mean, yeah, screw like wiping down bones with a dirt scrubber.
Or, you know, like
dirt scrubber. I meant a brush.
A dirt scrubber.
With a dirt scrubber.
Get your Undercast branded dirt scrubber.
We will be not selling those.
We will not be selling dirt scrubbers.
Anyway, he's
unless there's enough requests. I would gladly make a brush
and called it a dirt scrubber?
And call it the Undercast dirt scrubber if enough people were willing to buy that. If we get enough requests for that.
If any of you are actually still watching at this point, comment if you want the dirt scrubber. We will actually add it.
We will
if we get enough
a dirt scrubber.
Bet.
It has
if
to
this
be a
video
lot of
can get 10 likes.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh jeez.
So back to the scene.
Yay.
You know, so the swordsman is Indiana Jones, right? And the swordsman guy, they're like an old western duel like standoff right now. They're good like I think maybe 20 feet away from each other, maybe a little more. But not more. I wouldn't say more than like 40 feet. I'm doing some math here, right? Just bear with me. And Mr. Swordsman is doing about 20 twirls a second, trying to show off his beauty and skill and artistry with his sword. And Indiana Jones is just staring at him.
Who is not having that.
He is not having that. And without hesitation, well, actually with about 10 seconds of hesitation, just watching this guy make a fool of himself in the street.
Is that hesitation or just contemplation?
I guess he was contemplating, like, he was like, dude, I am seriously hungry right now, and I do not have time for this. And so he reaches for his holster, pulls out his revolver, and just blows his head off. He just absolutely slaughters the swordsman right there. After 20 seconds of just twirling this guy, and then he just pulls out his gun and kills him. And it's beautiful, because you can tell that Indiana Jones is just not. He just does not care. He doesn't care.
Harrison Ford was tired, man.
Dude, well, that's actually that's the story behind it.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah, Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford was sick that day.
They're inseparable.
Yeah, they are.
Every role that Harrison
he didn't
Ford
like Han
plays.
Solo, but
yeah, I know. That's why Han is dead.
Oof. Harrison Ford was not feeling well at the studios that day, so he asked George Lucas if he could just chill, and he was like, "Can I just shoot him instead of?" Because they were originally planned to have a sword fight.
Did George Lucas make Indiana
Yes,
Jones?
he directed Lucasfilms. Though he directed Indiana Jones.
I didn't know that.
Maybe that gives you more incentive to watch it now.
Not,
or at least the original 3.
I've watched him. I played the Lego games too.
Okay, well then you don't even need anything else. You've already seen it all.
Yeah.
All right.
And the last, the Crystal Skull.
That one was okay.
What was the deal with that?
He had a son.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf was his son, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And he was a greaser because it went from 16-ish, and now it's the 40s and going into the 50s. And
I had to make sure my time periods were right. I wasn't quite sure. He was old though. That whole nuclear testing town.
Yeah, and he was like trying to play some Nuketown stuff going on right there.
Hid in the fridge.
Hid in the fridge, dude.
Hid in the fridge.
All right, so everyone, I hope we hope you enjoyed.
Now, can I possibly propose one more thing for people to debate in the comments?
All right, but no dragging it out like last time.
I'm not dragging it out.
I
would just like to say The Punisher versus John Wick, because I feel like they're on such an equal level that it hurts me to think about it.
What do you mean, The Punisher versus John Wick? Like, you are asking them what they think?
Yeah, I just want to know what they
think. Who would win?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, watch The Punisher if you haven't, and watch John Wick if you hadn't. All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week, guys.
Indeed. Have a wonderful weekend. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.